Porter was hoping to see in that lineup is there. Ali McCoist has recovered from the hamstring injury sustained last week at Tannadice, so he has the chance to press his claim for the European Golden Boot by adding to his 29 league goals this season. David Robertson is out through suspension, so Chris Vinicombe starts a first-team match for the first time this season. Apart from McCoist, the top scorer in today's Rangers team is Alexei Mikhalichenko. The 29-year-old Soviet international won an Italian championship medal last year with Sampdoria, and he scored 9 times this season from midfield. For St Mirren, it's time to rebuild, so these are the players out to impress manager Davy Hay. They have a future. Campbell Money returns in goal, but Roy Aitken is missing through suspension and Kenny McDowell is unfit. Norrie McWhirter comes in for Aitken, and Fraser Wishart plays his 3rd consecutive match after a long spell in the wilderness. Thomas Stickrot is one player anxious to impress other Premier Division managers. The 27-year-old German was signed from Bayer Uerdingen 2 years ago, but he's made it clear he has no interest in the First Division, and he's been made available for transfer at a cost of £150,000. And the referee this afternoon, the man who handled both the semi-finals between Airdrie and Hearts, Mr. Jim McCluskey from Stewarton. So Ibrox Stadium packed to capacity, and virtually entirely with Rangers supporters who are in celebration mood right at the start of the match. In anticipation of a championship won again this afternoon, resulting in a tremendous atmosphere inside the stadium. One funneling back now, leaving only Torferson up front. Here's Brown. And a clear foul there by McGowan on Mikhalichenko. Deceived, I'm sure, by the skill of Mikhalichenko. The sleight of foot and the speed of the move was the factor which caused the problem for the defender. It's back now with McCall. Stevens into the gap. McCoy's tried to help it on. Durant setting up for Spackman, a chance now for Rangers. Well, Nigel Spackman may regret the fact that didn't come to his right foot. He would have been more dangerous, I think, in that position. Mikhalichenko sending it all the way back to Gorham. Gordon's header on, misses out Durant, allows Wishart to step in. And Dale Gordon has gone down, he appeared to land awkwardly. He's in some trouble there as the game continues. Here's Hewitt. Stickrod calls for the ball through the middle. Hewitt goes it alone and is stopped by Spackman. And still play continues. Mikhalichenko will play the ball out, I think, yes. This is to allow treatment for the injured Rangers player, Dale Gordon. Well, not entirely clear what happened to Dale Gordon. I wonder if he simply twisted himself, landing awkwardly. There he was, landing there after that header on, and it clearly was the way in which he came down which caused the problem. So applause for the injured Dale Gordon as he is carried from the field of play. Well, a complete accident, the damage inflicted there on Gordon, the result of an awkward landing. Bill Collins, the physio, comes across to confirm that Haustra should be introduced immediately. So Haustra goes on, makes his way across to the right flank with a few words of instruction from the bench for Ian Durant. Away by Beattie, back from Lambert to Manley. Standing a challenge there from Haustra. Now Bruddle. A recruit from Plymouth Argyle, Julian Bruddle. It's a good ball inside, there's Lambert with a return. Promising for a moment there from St Mirren, the way they attacked with pace and conviction on the left. And Bruddle was at the heart of it all. Good 1-2 this. The return from Lambert, the first time right foot volley, well off target. Headed away there by Manley. Stickrod couldn't get there in time. Kalichenko to Vinicum. Looking at McCoist through the middle. Manley was there first. Crunching tackle there from McCall. Was directly opposed by Norrie McQuarter in midfield. Stickrod's layoff. There's McGowan and Torferson. Stickrod is onside. Good ball across. Hewitt was too deep. Now trying to retrieve it. And across, posing no problems there for Andy Gorham. McCoist going through here, the ball holding up in the breeze. And McCoist is going to score. The opening goal for Rangers in 19 minutes. And for McCoist, it's goal number 34 of the season. A long kick out, caught there by the wind, which carried the ball, then held it up there for McCoist to get there just ahead of money, and the rest was easy. Well, a goal down to the conditions in many respects. The wind swirling around the stadium. It certainly deceived Campbell Money, but McCoist scores his 30th lead goal, 34 in all. It's been a remarkable season. And for St Mirren, the setback they were anxious to avoid. Well, it's a colourful scene here at Ibrox. Alstra making for the byline. It's good play from Rangers. Here's Gary Stevens, and that with a superb tackle by Fraser Wishart, which denied Gary Stevens. Well, Stevens has scored only once this season, and but for Fraser Wishart, that might well have been number 2. Wishart going in again. Well, some good football being played now by both sides. Goff intercepts the pass intended for Torferson. It's back with Spackman. Goff has stayed forward, he hasn't been picked up. Striding in goal, and it's turned away by Manley. Well, Richard Goff surging forward, as he did so many times earlier in his career when he played it right back. Doesn't do it so often from central defence, especially this season when he has been troubled by injury. Still is an exhilarating sight to see Goff come forward like that. Alstra playing it in, there's McCall! A flashing header there from Stuart McCall. That would have been a spectacular goal. Well, he comes into the box so effectively late as he did here. He wasn't picked up, couldn't keep the header down though. Here's Paul Lambert. Torferson helping out on looking for Stickrod. Good marking by Vinicum. Confidence and control shown there by Goff. Ball a bit strappy there with the ball in the air. Kalichenko to McCoist. A chance now to take on Manley. Looking for the shooting chance, which he found. And Campbell Money happy to hold that as Peter Houster closed in. Well, the instincts are there all right. McCoist looking for a shooting chance. Got a glimmer of one there and tested Money to the full. It's brought down well by Brown. And it's the last action of the first half, which has ended satisfactorily for Rangers, thanks to the goal scored in 19 minutes by Ali McCoist. A long kick out from Andy Gorham deceived Campbell Money. McCoist went racing through and took the opportunity to give Rangers that precious lead and leave the Rangers supporters at this stage perfectly happy. At half-time, it's Rangers 1, St Mirren 0. The party atmosphere is rapidly developing now, with confirmation from Tannin Ice that Hearts are a goal behind. Rangers looking very much in the driving seat here against St Mirren. But they will have to be wary, Rangers, because St Mirren did appear to grow in confidence as the first half wore on. Put together some good passing movements and suggested that their league position was certainly not a reflection of their basic abilities, but John Brown, such a tough hurdle to overcome in defence alongside Richard Goff for St Mirren. There's Julian Burrell's header. Lambert, Vinicum and Brown showing a little bit of a misunderstanding there, but came to no harm, and Vinicum showing his determination. He has Mikhalichenko inside, McCoist waiting in the middle. It's good play by Vinicombe. This is Mikhalichenko. Back it comes to Stevens. 2-0 to Rangers. A goal which he's been threatening all afternoon. Well, this was down to the work done by Chris Vinicombe. He worked so hard to get the ball in that position. Mikhalichenko with great vision looks up, spots Stevens, and just look at the way that was struck. Campbell Money left completely without a hope. Well, it's only the second goal of the season for Gary Stevens, but he'll seldom score a better one. Well, that brought this capacity crowd to its feet. And the ideal start to the second half, with celebrations in mind. This is Broddle. The Rangers are taking a very firm grip on the match at the start of the second half. Well, have been very carefully warned by their management team of Walter Smith and Archie Knox to take nothing for granted and maintain full concentration as they have done. Here's Houstra. Out to Stevens. Could this be another? And with a great chance in the end for Ian Durrant. Well, he holds his head in his hands, and little wonder. Houstra coming inside, breaking the ball from that tackle, taking it through to Gary Stevens. This is a great ball back. McCoist let it run. There was Durrant, and a complete miscue. Spikeman to Mikhalichenko. Well, what an effort that was. Andy Gordon scrambling across his line. Now roaring some abuse towards his teammate. Well, that is the toughest shot that Gordon has had to face in the entire match. It looked as though Alexei Mikhalichenko was trying to provide some kind of handicap to even things up a bit with that effort. Well, that certainly has had the crowd buzzing. Durrant breaks on the left, followed by Beattie. McCoy's trying to control it. Manley was there. This is Stevens. Now Houstra taking on Broddle. Oh, that's good play by Houstra. Has to settle for the corner kick. But amazing sleight of foot there from Peter Houstra. Well, this really was delightful, the way in which he sidestepped Broddle. Back now with Peter Houstra again from Stevens. Now Stevens. John Brown is there. Well, he wants to be involved in everything this afternoon, John Brown. It's such an influential match, and he gets forward well here on the end of this cross from Gary Stevens, coming in on the far post, charging forward, under pressure all the way right enough. Stevens keeping the ball in play for Houstra. Inside is Goff. McCoist wins it back. Hewitt plays it inside for Torfason. That's good play by Torfason. Well, the gap wasn't really there for the Icelandic international, but he showed a lot of deft skills here inside the area as he tried to manoeuvre himself into a position to test Andy Gorham. All very crowded there in the box, and he tried that shot towards the far post area. A shot to Stickrot. Come inside Vinicombe. Challenge came from Brown. Here's Durrant on the run with Beattie. Durrant now waiting for the support to arrive. Inevitably it comes from Stuart McCall. Well, that would have been a goal richly deserved by McCall. He has produced a tremendous midfield performance here. Look at the way he gets forward to support this breakaway attack with Durrant sitting him up. And the shot hit with a lot of power, just a shade too high. Well, Torfason gives chase. And Brown in excellent form, shrugs him off. Durant. It's back now with Goff and Stevens. Mikhailchenko's crossed to the right here. He switched with Haustra and he was caught there by Julian Broddle. Well, you can see here that Mikhailchenko felt that all right. So Alexei Mikhailchenko showing a good ton of pace there when he got to the ball ahead of Julian Broddle. That's what caused the problem, I think. And Broddle in late. Haustra making for the byline. Supported well by Vinico. There's Haustra again. Now Durant. McCoist on the turn. That's great play by McCoist. A goal of supreme quality from Scotland's in-form striker. And that settles any arguments this afternoon for Rangers. Look at the way he turns, makes the space, hits out with a lot of power, and is right into the corner. Oh, what a magnificent goal from McCoist. Well, goal number 35 of the season. Well, hoping, I think, to make 40 before the end of the season, and he enjoyed that hugely. Very happy striker, McCoist. A doubt before the match with that hamstring injury, but he's managed to recover in time to snatch another couple of goals. Remember, the leading league scorer in Europe wins the Golden Boot, and McCoist is in pole position. It's cut off there by Lambert. St Mirren now playing for pride. There are 17 minutes remaining. 3-0 to Rangers. Stegrot. Cross it goes to Wishart, now playing in the right back position he occupied before his transfer from Motherwell. That's good play by McGowan. There's Julian Broddle trying to test Andy Gorham. That's a good save by Gorham. Well, he clearly enjoyed that little bit of activity. Has had little to do this afternoon, Andy Gorham, but Julian Broddle forced him to show his ability here, and a good diving save. Hewitt's corner kick. Came straight onto the head of Norrie McWhirter, but he was never quite in position to test Gorham. All looks so easy now. That's what a 3-goal cushion does. And a certain championship victory. Wishart with the pass back to Money. Well, you have to hand it to St Mirren for the approach they've adopted to the match. They try to play football all the time. There's Lavany with a chance here for glory for St Mirren, and it just goes agonisingly wide. Well, the error by Richard Goff, and the youngster will be ruining that moment. He kept on going. Goff didn't get enough on that, and Lavany got there just ahead of Gorham, and the ball dropped agonisingly wide of the post. Oh, what a moment that would have been for the youngster. Here's Hewitt with the corner. McWhirter going up again unchallenged, no one going to meet him. 2 corner kicks in a row, and on neither occasion could he test the keeper. Well, just look at the space here for McWhirter. No one getting to him at all. It's McWhirter. McCall steps in for Rangers. This is Haustra. McCall goes charging forward. Durant is free inside. There's Mikhailchenko. That's for Durant. This could be the 4th. It's for McCoist. And Rangers pay the penalty for trying to walk the ball in. Ian Durant trying to set up McCoist for his hat-trick. And the frustration is clear for McCoist. Haustra playing it in. Mikhailchenko plays a delightful ball there into the path of Ian Durant, who chose to play that across for Ali McCoist, and he couldn't make certain. There's Stevens. Stuart McCall again getting forward. Durant playing it in early. Mikhailchenko, so dangerous in this position. Hustled out of that by McWhirter. Lambert to Torfason. That's for Stickrot. Long stride carrying him forward, but Vinicombe gets back smartly. Stickrot playing it in. Spackman comes in to make the challenge, and the deflection gives the throw to Rangers. Nothing going right now for St Mirren. They're well out of things. Well, in a very highly charged atmosphere when Rangers won the championship last season, the last day of the season against Aberdeen. It's not quite the same this afternoon. It's more of a party and no tension around, because St Mirren really have been playing second fiddle for most of the match. They're in trouble again as Mikhalichenko breaks. And there's the chance at Haustra. So 4-0 to Rangers. And Mikhalichenko again at the heart of another excellent Rangers move. Sprinting forward, playing this in with the left foot, the wrong foot playing it in. Good handling initially by Money, but the easiest of tasks in the end for Peter Haustra. So Haustra collects goal number 5 of the season. And now it really is a procession. Every move from Rangers carrying menace. And Mikhalichenko demonstrating again real inventive class up front. 9 minutes remaining. The score tells the story. McCoist wants to have a strike at goal from here. Here's McCoist. It was deflected, and watched carefully, going wide of the post by Money. It's a corner kick to Rangers. Well, I think you might find McCoist taking all the free kicks and all the penalties, and even the corner kicks perhaps. He's desperate to score again. There's McCall. Scrambled off the line. John Hewitt on the goal line, scrambling out away after a good stop by Money. Spackman wins the ball back from Stickrot. Here's Stevens, holding off his left. He's left at the back for Rangers. McCoist is onside this time. Well, you could have put any money in the fact that he wouldn't play the ball across the face of the goal. He had Mikhalichenko and McCall waiting in the middle, but he was certainly going to try to beat Money himself. Well, they say good strikers must be greedy. Well, here's evidence of that. Trying to chip that beyond the keeper. So the ball played across there from the quarter to Broddle. Stevens, well, after accusing McCoist of being greedy, the Rangers supporters now have struck up the Super Ali chant, so they've forgiven him. Here's Mikhalichenko. Stevens on the run, he's away from McQuarter. Cross too high for McCoist. Here's Haustra. That's good goalkeeping again by Campbell Money. He's in trouble though. He's off his line, and Haustra couldn't keep the ball in play. Well, Campbell Money has been so involved in the last 20 minutes or so, and he's performed some heroics for St Mirren. Here's another coming up as Haustra has time to chest this down, and Money made up his mind to go and block the shot. The flags and the scarves already prepared, reflecting the championship, as Fraser Wishart turns that back to Campbell Money. Here's Thomas Stickrot. That stride carrying him inside very effectively indeed, but John Brown read that well. Ending the game as he began, totally in command in defence. Now making his way forward, he wants to become involved before the end in an attacking role. Looking for McCoist, there he is. So sharp and determined. Well, he's looking for a corner kick, he's not going to get one. Good play this from John Brown, but look how quick McCoist was here, getting in ahead of Manley. It certainly didn't appear to be deflected by Manley, but a goal kick has been given.
The 90 minutes are up. The scarves are waving around the stadium. And there goes the final whistle. The championship is assured. And it's been a thoroughly convincing performance. Genuine championship quality. St Mirren make for the dressing room in a very hurried fashion. They certainly came with the right spirit to the match to try to play football. They're outclassed in the end. And these Rangers supporters now can begin the celebrations in earnest. It's been a thoroughly convincing performance. A championship deservedly won. 2 goals in the end from McCoist. A great goal from Gary Stevens there. And the icing on the cake provided by Peter Houstra towards the end. But there were some outstanding Rangers performances this afternoon. And the result in the end was a convincing victory by 4 goals to 0.
Then in an interesting piece of stage management, the Rangers team having left the pitch, then we came back out again to take the acclaim and the applause of those delirious fans. A sellout at Ibrox this afternoon, all of them expecting a party, and they certainly weren't disappointed. The injured Mark Hateley, Oleg Kuznetsov and the suspended David Robertson joining the team of the day for the singing and the dancing and the partying. The Rangers backroom staff there as well, and Captain Richard Gough must have been particularly delighted because he of course missed out on the celebrations last year. He was in hospital. Nigel Spackman captain decides in that epic last day winner over Aberdeen. And then the lap of honour, the traditional songs and chants, and delight clear to see in the faces of the Rangers players and fans. Dale Gordon happily, who looked to have suffered a serious injury to his knee, in fact has recovered quite well and should be fit for that cup final. And Rangers of course looking forward now to a cup final which offers them the chance of a League and Cup double for the first time since 1978. The championship won for the 4th time in a row, and that's the first time that's been achieved since season 1929-30. The celebrations went on long afterwards, the players only too happy to confirm how delighted they were.
Ali, you've been through this a few times. How does it feel this year?
As good as ever, Dougie. I think we've proved over the piece we've been the best team by far this season in the League Championship, and the celebrations are as good as ever, as you can hear.
Now you remember obviously the times when League Championships were hard to come by. Does that make it all the sweeter?
Of course it does. We've had a chat the last couple of weeks, and there's a few of the boys have been through the course and won championships before, and it was important that we didn't rest on our laurels, and we didn't do that. And today I thought we played some great football, scored some good goals, missed a few chances, but won the championship.
It's your own second, must have one of the best you've scored all season.
I was absolutely delighted with it. I think we Durante had a cheek running for the return pass actually.
Well, draw a veil over the 2 chances that followed, mind you.
That's right. I got a bit of stick off the boys in the enclosure, but I think it was warranted at the time.
Is there a major factor behind this one, Ali? Is there one thing that you can say was the real reason that you won the title?
From a personal point of view, I can only thank the management for giving me a chance and playing week in, week out, and I'd like to think I've repaid them with 1 or 2 in goals. But the squad of players we've got here, Dougie, I think we're always going to be favourites, and we've played some great stuff, and it's been a good season for us so far.
And is it going to be a League and Cup double?
I certainly hope so. Airdrie will make it very difficult for us. They're in the final on merit. They won their semi-final tie against Hearts and penalties. They'll make it very difficult for us, but we'll go out and do our best.
Great night, well done.
Thank you very much, Dougie.
Richard, no mathematical problems now. You've done it in the most clear-cut fashion, and that must be very pleasant.
It is. Obviously, we wanted to do it at home. Dundee United beating Hearts gives us a championship at home for the 3rd year in a row, so we're very happy.
And very pleasing too that you did it with such a good performance today.
Yes, I thought we played very well today. You know, we started a bit slack, but once Coisty got the goal, I thought there wasn't any way they were going to stop us, you know. And then Gary Stevens' magnificent second goal. We just went on from there.
Do you think there is one major factor behind the championship success, Richard?
I think the consistency of the team. I think we've only lost 4 games or 5 games in 41 now, 42. That's not bad going.
And obviously the depth of squad as well. Chris Vinicum, for example, came in today. He's hardly featured all season and played very well.
Chris came in, a young lad, and he did very well indeed. I'm very pleased with him.
cup final to come in 3 weeks? Is it going to be a double for Rangers?
Well, we hope so, but we're not taking anything for granted. I mean, Edry, a lot of people obviously we found favourites for the cup final, but Edry put out hard, so we're not taking anything for granted.
Enjoy tonight. Well done, Richard.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure those Rangers celebrations are still continuing. Derek, it was the most clear-cut victory. No chance of Rangers ending up with Easter egg in their face, was there?
McCoist passed the ball. You've got to be kidding today. He hit for goal every chance he had. No, it was all about attitude today, Dougie. I think everybody expected the Rangers to win today, except the players and the management. They had to go out there in the right frame of mind, and I think they did that right from the first whistle.
Yeah, it actually was a very enjoyable game, I thought, in difficult conditions. That was a strong wind.
It was. It's the worst conditions that players like to play. They can play in rain or whatever you like, but the wind makes it difficult for to control the ball. But in patches, it was a smashing game, yeah, and 4 goals, you can't argue with that. 40,000 people at the game.
Let's look back over the season and what it means, not just for Rangers, but for Scottish football. I don't think it's overstating the case to say that had it not been for Hearts, Rangers would have had this championship won, not quite by New Year, but not by long afterwards. And that's worrying, isn't it?
Well, I think Scottish football's got to thank Heart of Midlothian. They've done absolutely magnificent, kept Rangers at bay for all this time. It's only the last 3 or 4 weeks, really, that the heads have gone down a bit and they haven't got results. But had it not been for them, it could have well been won a lot earlier, Dougie. So they have to be congratulated on that.
Let's hear the thoughts of the Rangers manager and chairman then. Jock Brown spoke to both Walter Smith and David Murray after the match, and he asked Walter firstly whether it was important to win the championship in some style.
Well, first and foremost, I think it was just important to win it. But I was glad that we did score a few goals, and I thought we played some very good football. After about the first 20 minutes of the match, I thought we were particularly good in terms of passing and getting through, and a couple of terrific goals in the 4 that I hope would send people home happy about the game as well as the championship.
From a personal point of view, is this the highlight of your career so far?
Yeah, I think so. I think I came in at the end of last season. There was only 4 games. It was like being a caretaker manager over the season. We had a lot of changes to make in a close season. I think our team settled down particularly well, and they've gone through the season and shown remarkable consistency. And I think it's a credit to all the players here that they've done that.
David, how is that championship win rate among the others you've enjoyed?
Well, I've been very fortunate to be the chairman for 4 now in a row. It's the first time the club's done that in 60 years, I believe, so we've got a wee bit to go to get 9, but we'll work towards it, I'm sure. But I find it very satisfying for Walter and Archie. You know, for Walter, he took over in last year. We won it by sort of real tough effort at the end of the day, but I think this is Walter's championship, and it's perfect foil in Archie.
Was it important for you to see the championship won in some style, not just one?
I thought they were great goals. You know, it was nice to defeat St Mirren, who'd already come here this season and beaten us 1-0. But I think for all the supporters, it was a great day for the club.
But you think back to the investments that were made earlier in the season in new players, was that of concern to you at that time?
Well, it's funny to think today that only 3 players started the game against Aberdeen last season, so it shows all the changes at Ibrox, both on and off the park, the new stand. So I think from that point of view it was good for the club.
I think football nowadays, the freedom of contract for players and the movement of players in general means that it used to be that players would maybe spend 10, 15 years at the one club, the majority of players. That will not happen now. And we were in a period there where a lot of our players had been here 3, 4 years, 5 years on some occasions, and for one reason or another were ready to move, and it meant that we had to make the changes. That was my biggest concern for the season, was the amount of change that we had to make at the start.
A lot of people say that a manager is judged by his judgment. On that score, would it be fair to think that you're very happy with the signings you made, in the sense that I think all of them have come through for you?
Well, all of them have done particularly well. I mean, Andy Gorham, David Robertson, at the start of the season, Alexei Mikhailchenko has come in awkward circumstances. He's only played 20-odd games and he scored 10 goals for us. And the players that we have got in have done particularly well.
Now, the importance, of course, of the championship is reflected by the European Cup to come. Is this a matter that causes you some concern now for next season, to do well in Europe?
It doesn't cause me concern, because really that's Walter's problem. But in saying that, Walter has a budget where he wants to strengthen the team. Season tickets go on sale shortly. We hope to have over 30,000 season tickets available. I mean, you can still watch Rangers for £5 a game on the East Enclosure, and that's what the football club's all about. I think we've been sometimes criticised about forgetting the ordinary supporter, and as far as I'm concerned, that will never happen when I'm the chairman.